Okay, so I'm reading Matthew chapter 24, verse 45 on through some other verses. Matthew 24, where it talks about the wise and faithful servant. The wise and faithful servant. And what I got out of this time in meditation on the Word was whatever God's told you to do, if you just take some steps with what you got, He wants to see you about His business. He wants to see you faithful with little and trusting that He's going to get involved because you're doing what He's told you to do. He will get involved with His work. It's His work through you. The wise and faithful servant. You might want to read about that. I'll read a little bit of it. What would qualify a servant to manage his master's house? He would be a wise servant who is both faithful and dependable. Are you being faithful and dependable to what God's already told you to do with your time? Are you trusting Him to provide the rest of the steps as you're faithful with what you already know for sure that He's told you to do? Things might not be showing up. Things might be taking time. And the Lord's watching you, and He wants to see if you have an excellent spirit, faithful with your calling, and not waiting for everything to be perfect and super prosperous in appearance, even though we've been promised prosperity, but it's not always going to look like that. And will you still do the work? And trust that God's going to take you the rest of the way. The master would, let's read this. The master would commission him to oversee others. He was faithful. So the master would commission him to oversee others. Our promotions, blessings, it's connected to, are you being faithful with the work you've already been given? Are you making the most out of what you have? The master would commission him to oversee others. For he would lead them well and give them food at the right time. What joy and blessing will come to that faithful servant when the master comes home to find him serving with excellence. So the master's going to come and check your work out. And if you've really been about the Father's business and you've been doing the best you can with what you got and with the directions that He's already given you, the instructions, if you've been walking it out as best as you can, He's going to take you to the next level, and He's going to bring you into completion of these things that you're working on. There's a time for everything. I can promise you the master will raise him up and put him in charge of all that he owns. And that's based on, have you been faithful with what you've been given? You can't get to next levels and your goals unless you've taken some previous steps. Have you been faithful with the previous steps? But the evil servant says in his heart, my master delays. Alright, we're not going to read all that. But basically, to sum this short teaching up, it would be about just do the work. Enjoy the work the Father's assigned to you. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes somewhere, that it's a blessing from God to enjoy what you do for a living. It's a blessing from God to enjoy what you do for a living. There's goals God's given you that you enjoy. You're passionate about them. Don't wait for everything to show up to get to work. And what you pay mind to attracts all the stuff you need. If that's the currency for your dreams, keep focused. Where focus goes, power flows. Keep your mind focused. And that increases your ability to walk into the promises God has for you. You know, delayed obedience delays blessings. Delayed focus delays blessings. So the more intense you get focused on your dreams and goals, the sooner you will walk into them. Be faithful with what you got. Work with what you got. Don't wait for everything to be perfect and in place. Work with what you got. Enjoy what you have to do. And in this short stay on earth, we are given goals, our lot in life. Things that you will be excited about to do. A fish belongs in water. It's natural element. It fits best there. What you are called to do is where you fit best in this life on earth. So stay about the Father's business. When you're about His business, He's about your business. And if it's God's will, it's God's bill. Where God guides, He provides. And when things feel stuck, it's a good time to sow seed.